Hello everyone, welcome to our first video tutorial as homework in Julia's Writing 3 class. Today I wanted to talk to you all about how to complete our Intensive English Program vocabulary notebooks. I usually do this in class, but I realized that a lot of times I have to repeat the instructions, and so I thought doing it online so you can rewatch, watch slowly, and do it at your own pace would be best. So as I'm teaching you how to complete our vocabulary notebooks, there's a couple things I'm using. First, in this video, what's used is page 41 in Great Writing 5th edition. That's our writing book for the semester, so you all should have it or have access to this page at this point. The second thing you should have, and that I'll be using, is a vocabulary notebook instruction handout. And let me show you what I'm talking about quickly. It's this page here that you should have gotten in class from me during the week. And then lastly, the third thing I'll be using is the Longman Dictionary of Contemporary English website. This website is totally free. You're just going to go to the website with me and I'll teach you how to use it during this video. But this is the actual name of the website. The website stands for, of course, Longman Dictionary of Contemporary English. So they shortened it and put LDOCEonline.com for us. Now let's look at our handout here. So I don't know if you've gotten a chance to read this at all yet, but we're going to go through the whole handout together, and then I'll teach you how to use this guide to do your vocabulary notebook. So I say, in each class, there will be a list of vocabulary words from your readings. Really, instead of each class, I'm going to change this here. You'll just see unit on your handout. For each unit, there will be a list of vocabulary words from your readings. For each unit, I will choose 2 lists of vocabulary words for you to use for your vocabulary notebook. For your notebooks, you will use the website, like I mentioned, LDOCEonline.com, to complete your notebook entries. And what I mean by entry is what you write for each word, each vocabulary word that you're assigned. Now, I already mentioned in class, or should have, that your first vocabulary notebook list is found on page 40 in your book, and it's these 6 words right here. All 6 of these words are found in the article that we read, or you will have read, about the truth behind lying. So I have a screenshot of that right here, just so we can use it for this video. But as you can see, all of the vocabulary words that are on this list are in bold here. So this word consequences is in bold, consequences here, irresponsible is in bold, irresponsible is here. And so we're going to be using these 2 pages. But again, this is page 40 and this is page 41 in your book. If you have your book or you have a handout of that, you can follow along this way yourself. So each vocabulary word, which I'm calling each entry, is going to have these 6 lines. Line 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 here. And underneath, I have an example entry using one of the vocabulary words from your list. So you've already done one, congratulations. And the word I chose to use to show you how to do the notebook is this word consequence. So line 1 says you have to have the name of the word and the part of speech of the word. Pretty simple. If a word If it's a verb, you want to write if the verb is transitive or intransitive, and if the vocabulary word is a noun, you want to write whether it's a count or non-count noun. And as you can see here, I say consequence, noun, countable. If you look on your page here, page 40, you'll see that consequence is here, and this N is here showing it's a noun, but we don't know if it's count or non-count. So what you want to do first is to go to LDOCE online, and this is the page that you'll be using. You can see my past things here, how to screen record. And so when you go to this website, it's very easy to use. This is the bar you'll use to put in all your vocabulary words, whatever words you want to look up, and you just click enter or return and it will search it for you. So here we have consequence, and I'm just going to click return, and here we are. And so here we have the word consequence. It tells you how many syllables are in each word, separated by this little dot, so we can see that. If you know IPA and how to pronounce things from IPA, you have the pronunciation guide here. If you don't know what that means, that's fine. We see that it's a noun. And if you look, this as well as these ones don't say it, but here it tells us that this noun is countable. Sometimes the vocabulary words that you look up can have different, one can be countable, another one, meaning another definition, might not be countable, depending on the meaning of the word. So don't always just look at the first one and say, oh, it's obviously countable, but you want to make sure that definition is the correct definition for you. In this case, it happens to be. So that's how you'll find whether a word is countable or non-countable, or as I say, also whether the word is transitive or intransitive. Now let me give you a little refresher of what that actually means. Let me find here it is. So in English we have two types of nouns. We have countable nouns. The way you say it doesn't matter. It means the same thing. So I put consequence here for singular, and because this noun is a count noun, as we found out, I put consequences with an S for plural. So if you have more than one consequence, we would say consequences. I have two examples of that here. The first example, your decision could have a negative consequence. Because this word is a count noun and it's singular, we have to have an A right there to show that it's a singular count noun. And I just have one consequence here. But if I wanted to make it plural, your decision could have negative consequences with the S. And I can do that with this word because this word is a count noun. There are a lot of words, sorry. There are a lot of words, however, that are non-count nouns. And one of the most popular ones that you'll need to know is the word homework. Homework is a non-count noun, meaning if you have one piece of homework, it's homework. If you have 1,000 pieces of homework, we still say homework. We never say homeworks with an S. So, homework for singular, and then we have homework for plural. So when we say a word is a non-count noun, that means you would never say a number with the noun. You would never say 2 homeworks. That doesn't exist in English. You would also Never say a homework, the letter A before, because that's for a count noun and we can't count it. Instead, you would say, I have a little homework, not a lot, or I have no homework if you have none. You can say, I have a lot of homework, but you can never say, I have many homeworks, or I have 2 homeworks, anything like that. That's a very popular noun to think is count, but in English it's not. In other languages it is, but not in English. And so there are these nouns in English that are non-count. And in your vocabulary list throughout the semester, you might find some that are non-count. So you always want to check. This is a really good indicator to a native speaker how advanced you are in the language. If you add the S when you shouldn't, because it's a non-count noun, most native speakers don't know why you said it that way and why it's wrong. They just know it's wrong. So learning this and being aware of it is very important. The other thing I wanted to talk about for line number 1, as I mentioned also, is that if the vocabulary word is a verb, you need to write whether it's transitive or intransitive. And I wanted to review with you what that meant as well.